students from 47 different countries now in our tournaments that we've had. 47 different countries all over the world. And so it's let's put it this way. We have a great cause. And you folks you're at the beginning of learning, and you're going to be our leaders. In a few years, you'll be the leaders. So I congratulate you. I thank you for being willing to take the time. I know Kathy's worked hard to put this together. I know you'll benefit. I know you'll enjoy it. And it's such a positive thing that you'll learn as a person. And the main thing is because you're doing it for others. You're helping others. And that's the greatest thing we can do. Nobody will ever care how much money you make in lifetime, but what you do for others, show concern, help them heal, you will always be remembered. So thanks again, and let's go. Let's see where we go.
Thank you, Dick. And thank you to all the people that helped make this event possible today. A lot of hard work from many people all over the world. Okay. I'd like to now introduce Kathleen Ranledy, our president for Teen Mediation International. She is a mediator, international trainer, author, and speaker, and we're grateful to have you train with us today. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you so much. And it's a good day to be here again. And I see that it's summer vacation, Kathy. I see we have a lot of adults, maybe more so than students this time, which is usually we're in reverse, right? We can tell definitely school is out. So with this training, I'm going to go through stepping into anger and going to feel free to ask any questions since we seem to have a different kind of a group set up this time. And let's get going with that. The most exciting thing about today that I'm really keen about is that we have an extra layer today because of Kathy. We've added a character profile to our training, which this is the first time we've done it. So when you're in the role plays and you decide what anger character profile you want to utilize, you're going to get a chance to pick and be an actor, be an actress as you learn about these profiles of dealing with anger and the different ways of conflict styles. So really excited about that piece, Kathy, and let's get going. I hope I'm the co-host here, which I assume I am. And here we go. Let me put this in present mode so everyone can see it. As mediators, we have a decision to make when we have high conflict at our table, and this session is about anger. There's a lot of other ways to have high conflict at the mediation table, and we make that decision whether to acknowledge it, whether to chase the clarity of it and the accuracy of it or not. A lot of mediators will ignore this. So today, if you're going to play the role of a mediator, you'll have a chance to actually step into this anger. We need to connect with the anger. We need not to vilify like a situation that happened a couple of weeks ago in Washington State. Somebody threw a pen at the table and the mediator said, okay, we're going into private session. That's not a connection. That is splitting apart. That's vilifying one person for being angry. And it's also making the other person that wasn't angry a bit of a hero, looking like the good guy, and the person that was angry looked like the villain, you know, whatever that scale is on a 1 to 10. That's not what we want to do at the facilitated mediation table. We want to connect with it. We understand that anger is a secondary emotion. That means it's got a fuel. We all know that when we light a fire, we have to have a fuel to light the fire. I have friends in Sacramento that love to do, their fuel is the original charcoal that they use, but there's a way to start that charcoal. We have gas grills, that's fuel. We have fuel for our cars. Well, anger also has fuel. It's not so easily identified as a Bic lighter, as a candle, as a match, but anger is fueled by another emotion or a trigger somehow, some way. So at the mediation table, when this happens, and when this happens in the role play, we want to sit there with it, but we're eventually we're going to chase the clarity and accuracy of the anger, we're eventually going to step into the anger as well, giving the person that's angry the honor that they need. When someone at your mediation table is angry, they need you more, not less. So calling a private session is giving them less of you. And facilitative mediation, we do the opposite. We step into that more. Whoops, what just happened right now? I don't know what happened right now. Whoa, what's this? Hang on. Somehow we're somewhere else. Pardon me. I think something happened, but we're gonna find out what happened here. All right, so what happened here is somehow all of my Chrome stopped running. So let me go back and get it. Go back to Canva and get my deck. Pardon the delay. When this happens
A little
on
housekeeping. Well, Kathleen, you can let me know when you're ready. But when the training is finished, then our adult visitors can either choose to leave or to stay and observe the breakout rooms. When you are in the breakout rooms, if you're a student participant, we'd love you to be on camera if it works with your technology, and we understand if it doesn't. If you're an adult observer, we'd like you to be off camera just to allow the focus to be on the students. So we're thrilled that you're here today, and we hope that you'll share the idea of this event with students in your community after this is over. You ready, Kathleen?
Almost. I've got the camera back up. Thank you, Kathy, for that save. Here we go. Let me put it in present mode again. So we are connecting with this anger, and again, it's mediator choice. It's every mediator's got their style, their confidence, and their courage. So we either understand that anger is part of a conflict spiral, and anger is about biology. And this tornado is what's happening inside people because of being triggered, because of some kind of fuel. And this fuel, you can see overtly, you know, formal complaints, talking to others about it, selective perception, being really critical. Blaming is an interesting term that's not often understood, and we'll talk about blaming a little bit later. That's all overt stuff once someone finds out what's happening. But then there's also covert aggressive behavior, which is the gossiping, talking behind someone's back, a non-cooperation. When you say something's going to happen, then you do the opposite or you don't do it. So what happens is, because of a disagreement that Dick talked about, working with other people, how important it is to work with other people, we can figure out disagreements at the mediation table typically. But when emotionality gets tied to the dispute, then it's biology. It's out of control. And now it's our job as the mediator, and to practice here today in the session, to try to calm the person, to help them get control. Because all of these topics that you see trigger the primal brain to kick in. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. So when we're dealing with this, we've got a person that's got internal anger happening, and then we've got their shared external anger happening. So we've got a person that's got layers that is conflicted. Have you ever known someone that's really angry and they're not sharing much of it? So people share their external anger when they feel safe, when they tip over, when they think they're safe and they're actually not. So this sharing the external anger is what we're looking for as mediators. So when in the role play today, when someone decides to play the role of the competitive person who's angry, that only thinks about themselves, that only wants themselves to be lifted up, to be recognized, we decide to step into that shared external anger because we know it's the tip of the iceberg. So the question becomes, how do we do that? And that's what we're going to talk about today, because the anger does have fuel. And we know with any kind of fuel, you want to turn it off, turn it down, throw the wet blanket on it somehow, some way. So how do we calm down this anger fuel becomes our topic. recognizing, first of all, that these are some of the fuels for anger. I mediated one day, I was telling the class this morning that I taught in the UK with a woman whose neighbor, she's the best mediator in the court of Boston where I was working at the time. And her neighbor came down with breast cancer. She found out their friends, it became a personal problem. And she brought that stress to the mediation table, started crying and telling all the parties about the story because she got tipped over because of the personal problems. So these are triggers of what happens in people's lives. Negative events can tip people over. Being tired, being fatigued, feeling wrong or invalidated. And these are the inside authenticity of what's happening with this anger, because it's a secondary emotion. And we're trying to get down to the real, quote unquote, if I can say it that way, because of the fact that we're trying to find out the fuel. And once we get to identifying the fuel, oh, so you've had a bad day. Oh, and then we take it away. We say, that's understandable. We make it palatable. Oh, I understand now. I see this better. Everyone has bad days. We try to make it safe for people at the table. So you get a chance to practice that. Someone feels wrong or invalidated. Then we've got something number 6, substance abuse. Substance abuse is substances inside a person that's taken their level of health, not to the minimum, to the top, to the max, not supporting their undergirding health, but is detracting from their health, subtracting from their health, dividing from their health. So their perception becomes off because of substance abuse, which I've had a couple of those at my mediation table as well. Mental health, physical health, hunger. Hunger is a real thing. I worked with a director in Central Massachusetts that when she got hungry, we could not discuss anymore. We had to eat, which I found very funny, but it's a real thing. And learned behavior. People grow up with the culture of themselves. People grow up with learning to be angry about everything anytime they want to. And lastly, we have a lack of coping skills. People that don't know how to handle their anger or are so tipped over, they don't have their coping skills, are not accessible to them, will have a hard time at the mediation table. So when we look at this angerberg, as I like to call it, this is what we have. Here's the visible anger. And here are some of the reasons on the bottom. Underneath the visibility, you have the reasons why a truly authentic, caring, facilitative mediator, because remember, as a mediator, we're not in the anger, we're third party. We can all do anger in our own lives very, very well because it's the primal back brain that takes over. It's just biology. But as a third party neutral, we are going down below the tip of the angerberg. We're looking for this and also understanding that triggers can cause anger as well. Gaslighting someone, not being truthful, should cause anger. Anger is not always inappropriate. Just because it's anger doesn't mean it's wrong, doesn't mean it's not just. So we have to look at anger as a neutral emotion, and we tend to look at it as negative, and we should not be doing that. We should be accepting the anger. Anger can come from lack of justice. In downtown LA, where I live, when there's a lack of justice, everyone comes out in protest. That's anger based on lack of justice. People being duplistic, saying one thing and doing another. That is righteous anger. People having hidden agendas. Then there are people that deliberately cause chaos, either naturally because they want to, or just unnaturally because it's how they live. Chaos is in them, so they carry chaos out into their environments where they are. So this is what we're looking at the mediation table. So some of the things that you can practice today is you can pivot away from the anger if you'd like to. I can see that topic really bothers you. Would you like to talk about something else? And give them an option to talk about something else and name it. Pathos is the passion, is the emotion. Well, logos is appealing to the logic. Maybe they don't want to discuss that anger right away, so we pivot off the anger. We pivot into the ethos, into their professional credibility, what they do well, their personal qualifications. We can pivot off into that. I see that your title here today in this mediation, that you are a parent, that you are this, and that is a very important job. So we appeal to their ethos. And when we appeal to the ethos and the logos, the anger now has a chance to start to subside. The back brain's calming down so the front brain can work. We need people to think because we're moving them toward an agreement. So we use these other two appeals. This is Aristotle to help people calm down. I've had people make a list of things. And we talk about the list. Last week in another West Coast state, I had someone start to talk about money and I didn't summarize it all, nothing. Just talked about money. And finally he said, you know, Kathleen, I really want to talk about a few things now. He was ready to talk about what was really bothering him because I took him to the money of the deal where he could calm down and relax. So this is what we do. And this is what you can practice today. Looking at my time here. Moving on, we can step into the anger. This is what I typically do in the mediation. I tell clients, thank you for being that honest. You can practice those words today in your role play. Thank you for being that honest. Right now, which is mediator code for temporarily, I heard you say this, and you summarize. We summarize for the clarity, but we're also summarizing for the validity, for the acknowledgement. People are not rubbish and disposal products at our mediation table. The human being has value. So we summarize and we ask, is that correct? And then we say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry are you right now? How frustrated are you? Using their word that they said to us when we summarize. I'm not substituting out another word if they say angry to me. And then we ask, is there anything else? This is acceptance. This is psychological safety. This is mediator humility. But the person that was angry is the only one person at the table. There's other people at the table. So we turn to the other people on the table and we ask the question, number 4, how is that for you to hear just now? And we summarize that on a scale of 1 to 10. How okay are you or not right now? And then lastly, stepping into the anger, clarifying it, grabbing the accuracy of it. We simply say, what does everyone need right now? So at your table, as the mediator, the student mediator, if you don't know what to do, you can simply say, what does everyone need right now? You can simply say, thank you for being willing to be this honest at this mediation table, because you're not there by yourself. You're there with your title as your mediator. You're there with your table, and you're also there with the process. Right now, we're in the opening statements, and I welcome that passion that I heard in your voice as you were telling me about the situation. I welcome that as your mediator. This is stepping in. Naming things to tame things is a real scientific study of understanding and validating and facilitative mediators. That's what we're all about. We're all about validating. As we move on to this deck, and Kathy, you're going to help me keep track of time, please. People have styles. In their mind, there's a perception. So with their style, they act it out. And with the style, it's important to learn about your own style in the growth process. If you're not just a bad apple trying to cause chaos, because people that are bad apples at the table that just are 100% competitive and don't care about anything except their way or the highway, that needs to be handled a different way. And those kind of people will say, they will feel like they're being blamed. Healthier people will take responsibility because they understand that it's something that they have done. It's something they have said. They've said it earlier in the mediation. Blaming is really...
You have 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. Blaming is really about assessing responsibility to an action that someone has really done. But blaming gets a bad name. So what you want people to do is accept responsibility, attach what they've said and accept responsibility. And these styles that you have here from Kilman is how people manage their conflict. They will either compete and think all about themselves and not care about anyone else, or they may avoid it and flee the scene and not want to engage anymore for the greater good of the organization because, again, they're thinking about themselves. So that's a competitive, aggressive style. Or they may be accommodating and cave to everything that everybody wants because they want everyone happy. Or they may be collaborative and say, hey, let's see if we can work this out, which is what Dick was talking about earlier. So today at the mediation table, you get to play and choose and pick one of these roles, or you can switch them around. You can do a little avoiding, you can do a little competing if you want to. So ending up with this slide deck, this is what competing looks like. So have fun with these. Be a person that pursues their own interests above others. Competing, be collaborating. Be the person that's actively committed for the greater good to find a solution that works for all is the key, for all. Be the person that's accommodating, just dismissing your own needs to satisfy everyone else. Or try on the personality style, the conflict management style of avoiding. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why this is such a big deal. And want to leave the mediation. You know, mediation is voluntary. Say, I don't want to be here right now. I want to leave this mediation. Practice, try on these styles. Because at the end of the day, anger is a sifting experience. When someone is truly angry, it moves them toward greater clarity and authenticity. And this is why anger is a great emotion, because you either revalidate yourself as a person and how you moved amongst that dispute, or you see that there's growth. If a person is ready to see that they need to grow, they will be able to see it. The anger will point it out because of the fall away relationships that oftentimes can happen. And people can say, you know what, I think I might need to grow. So Kathy, that is the slide deck. I'm going to actually stick it in the chat so everyone can have a copy of it. And thank you very much for my time here.
So now, would you please tell us what we'll be doing in the breakout rooms? If you could explain that in a little bit of detail, and we'll have Kartik read our case that we'll be working on today.
So in the breakout rooms, what's really nice about this time is that you're going to have a chance to look at the combination, the styles of how you want to be that angry person. You get to go into the comment. I think there's a handout with the coaches, and you get to decide, okay, when I'm playing the party, what kind of anger do I want to have? How do I present myself? So you may look at people in your world and say, oh, I want to copy my mom. I want to copy my dad. I want to copy my brother, my sister. So you pick your anger style that you're going to use in the mediation if you're the party. If you're the lawyer, you're going to have to use Aristotle's logos and use the logic to keep your client calm as possible, moving them toward the legal goals that you have. And if you're the mediator, you're going to have to handle the anger with some of these steps that were mentioned today in the slide deck about stepping into it and saying, thank you very much. And can you tell me more about that on a scale of 1 to 10? How upset are you right now? So you're going to be practicing all these skills, Kathy, in the breakout rooms after the coaches do the icebergs. So you all get to know each other a little bit better, which will be really fun. And that's what we're doing today.
Thank you. Kartik. Can you hear me? Kartik, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Kathy.
Okay, great. Would you be willing to read the case that we're going to do today?
Yes, absolutely. Would you mind putting it on the screen, or should I just read it out?
Yeah, I will share it on the screen. Give me 1 minute.
While you're sharing it, I've put the slide deck link into the chat. So everyone, if you click on it, you can open it up in another window or tab on your computer, and you can help utilize it in the mediation to see how you want to play out this mediation role play today. Have fun with it, everyone. Here we go.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Kathy. And thanks, Kathleen, for such a wonderful presentation. It was very thought-provoking. So the case for today that we've kind of come up with is the shared social media account disaster. So we've got two best friends named Alex and Sam, They ended up creating a joint Instagram account to showcase their shared passion for skateboarding and fashion. What happened is that the account quickly gained popularity and they started getting sponsorship and collaboration offers. But recently they had a major fallout after a disagreement about content direction and financial management of this particular Instagram account. Now, what the current situation is Alex wants to maintain the control of the account, arguing that they have a stronger creative vision and are more responsible with the money. However, Sam feels betrayed and wants to either delete the account entirely or take it over, claiming that Alex is bossy and taking all the credit. Now, both teens are extremely angry and hurt, and communication between them has broken down at this point. Their parents are now getting involved, and the tensions are now escalating. Now, when you're doing the mediations, some additional considerations to take care of would be the emotional intensity, which means that the teens in this age group often have strong emotions and difficulty managing conflict. As a mediator, what you will need to do is to be prepared for heightened emotions and potentially dramatic outbursts from either of the parties, which would be Alex or Sam. There's social pressure, the popularity of the account and potential consequences of losing it can create additional stress and pressure on both the teens. And then there's future consequences to think about. The mediator should help both the teens consider the long-term consequences of their decisions, such as potential damage to their reputation or missed opportunities when they entirely close the account. Now, within the mediation, your goal would be to help Alex and Sam understand each other's perspectives and feelings, to find a compromise that addresses both teens' concerns and allows them to move forward. This could be a new agreement on account management, splitting the account into two, or shutting it down altogether. And third would be to repair the friendship if possible, or at least find a way to end the partnership amicably. Well, that's our case.
Thank you so much. So the roles you'll be choosing from in your breakout rooms, you can be a co-mediator. So we have two co-mediators. We have Alex, Sam, and then Alex's advocate can be Alex's parent or best friend or attorney. Sam's advocate, as the role player, you can choose whether you want to be Sam's parent or best friend or attorney. It could be a principal or a teacher, etc. So you have some creative license on that.
Kathy, can I ask you to explain what a co-mediator is and what you mean by advocate?
Thank you very much. So the mediator will be the person in the room who is trying to get the parties to have an informed conversation and settle the disputes. And the advocate is someone who is supporting the disputant. They're supporting the one that's having the arguments. Any other questions? We're going to take a 10-minute break. So feel free to turn off your cameras and take a little stretch break and come back in 10 minutes. When you come back in 10 minutes, you'll see that we've opened the breakout rooms and you can go ahead and go into your breakout room and meet your group.
Kathy, is there also an option for people to stay and chat?
Yes, you're welcome to stay and chat.
Do you need any help with anything, Kathy?
I think we're doing fine. I'm just going to be putting everybody in the breakout rooms right now. You'll notice that your name will get a number in front of it if you're one of the student participants or one of the coaches. And so that's the room you'll be going into. So if anyone's a co-host, if they see a number in front of their name, they're welcome to go ahead and put themselves in that breakout room.
Um, Hi, Kathy. I sent you a message in chat, and I'm going to follow up with an email later. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thanks, Tina.
You're welcome.
Kathy, someone's asked in the chat for the link for the dispute problem.
Hi, Tina.
I'm happy to chat.
It sounds good.
Hear me better now, right?
I can hear you. No worries.
Okay. So I was actually very happy to see Dick and hear what he was sharing as an experienced mediator.
What's your background?
My background?
Yeah.
So I've studied peace studies, but before that and after that, I've been working in different fields of peace related topics.
Okay.
Has started with more like negative sides of no war, but I'm leaning more towards peace education.
Oh, brilliant. With
So maybe
children or in general?
for adults, mostly, that's my background, but I have been working with children a bit more recently.
You find that they're a lot easier to deal with anyway than adults who are more set in their views of things?
Well, it was more of what was presented to me as in forms of opportunities. And I was a young adult myself, so I could work with those people easier. But I think now, as a more experienced person, I can approach children with more understanding of what should be done.
Okay. What's like your dream? What's your vision for that?
With a few friends, we have just established an NPO here.
Okay.
So, peace education. So the dream organization with access to all parts of the country with various products.
And
peace
is that
education.
literally the extremes of kind of from war to sibling rivalry or friendship issues? Is it across the board with peace that you're teaching, or is it more on the heavier side?
I think we have to include a little bit of no to war part, but our focus be more on social skills, skills that people can actually use in their daily lives. That's why mediation is overlapping with that. Okay, so what about you, Katie? I think I know a little about you, but I think maybe others can also hear about it.
Yeah, I'm a family law and civil mediator from the UK. I've got two companies. One is well established, and primarily with family mediation, and the second is it's operational, but it's not. It's only available really if anyone refers in at the moment, so it's not visible if you kind of just Googled it or something. But I've been doing some work on the TMI project, and prior to this, I worked in child development for 17 years. So being able to combine the mediation side with my love of supporting children and more so like the holistic support for kids, with their emotional confidence, all of those things, because if you don't have those bits, then you're, regardless of how good you are at something, if the confidence isn't there, you're going to struggle. So that's kind of where I am with it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love working with the kids. We went out to Texas earlier this year and did some work with the students in a college, so that was really good. Loved it, absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's all good.
Thanks. And others, if they want to talk, I think it's until they come back.
We're getting close to opening the breakout rooms, and you'll see we're putting the number of your breakout room before your name. So once you get to the breakout room, if you were put in a different number than your name says, you need to just holler at me so I can make sure that I correct it.
And Kathleen, how do we get to our breakout rooms? Will it just come up on the screen to say, go to your breakout room, and we just say yes?
Yes, it will come up on the screen and it'll give you a blue button to push to get into the room. So,
And then we will stay in our breakout rooms for just almost an hour?
Yes, exactly.
And then did you want to talk around just roughly the timings for everything?
Yeah,
Or
coaches have that, and so that's on their document. And
Okay.
so we're just doing, about 3 to 5 minutes for each activity.
okay.
And you can actually broadcast the times to all the rooms at the same time if you think that's a good reminder.
And do all the coaches have access to being able to screen share, Kathy? She's run for the hills.
Well, personally, I'm having some tech challenges, so I may not be able to. I'm not sure when I'm going to take the chance, but I had a really very wicked storm yesterday here in the States in Delaware. So the weather has been really unpredictable everywhere.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so the breakout rooms are opening now, and if you can go ahead and go to your breakout room, but let me explain something first. We'll have 3 to 4 people per room. And so if you're in a room of 3 students, then there'll be 1 mediator. And if you've not been assigned a room, but you would like to play a role in a mediation, then go ahead and type that in the chat right now so I can assign you to a breakout room. And then if you're an adult that wants to observe the rooms, then once we get all the students into the rooms and the coaches, then we'll go ahead and assign you to a breakout room. So if adults could be patient with us another few minutes.
There's a raised hand for.
I see. Hey, everyone, I'm back. I'm running at mediation classes. I'm popping in and out of here as well. Desiree, hi, how are you, my friend? It's been a long, long time. You want to make a comment?
You're on mute, Desiree.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm very happy to meet you. I'm very, very happy to meet you for this session, which is very important for me, Burundian refugee and graduate in a bachelor degree in law at University of Rwanda. And now I lead a refugee-led organization, a not a think tank, and a legal initiative for mediation in the refugee community in East Africa, in Rwanda, Mahama refugee camp. So I'm always interested in learning always about the skills related to mediation. So I'm very happy, very, very happy for me to join this session because already I have gained many skills, and I want you, all of you, to work with me to improve peace using peace means which are mediation, dialogue within youth and adults, so and so on.
It's been about a year since we've talked. How have you been? How has that been going for you in the camps?
So in camps, of course, there is peace, but we are refugees from many countries. The most are from Burundi and DRC. For me, I'm from Burundi, and others from Congo, and others comes from Afghanistan and the Sudanese. You know, there are wars there, and so we try to promote harmony, good cohabitation because of the diversity of cultures, and also because of poverty, you know, global crisis of COVID-19, Ukraine, there is a war, So sometimes food assistance for refugees are very few, and when you are hungry, you can become angry. So we try to reduce problems, to settle their disputes without going to court, because to go to court it is very expensive for refugees. In a few words, we are together, we try to promote good cohabitation, and your support is very important for us because we need the skills, we need the fund, but the most thing for us is to collaborate with you who can give us more skills to work
Right.
better.
Let me interrupt you, Desiree. Thank you so much for that. If you're able to stay when we're done with the program, we'd love to hear more from you. The other people, would love to hear more. I already know what you're doing, so I love the work that you're doing. Thank you for doing it. But I think we're going to pass it off to Kathy right now. Do you mind the interruption? And we'll finish the program and then we'll come back. If you're willing to stay with us, that would be great. Is that all right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kathy?
You should be seeing a breakout button. Go ahead and push it. It's a blue button. If you're not seeing it, go to the 3-dot more button and you can go ahead and go to your breakout rooms.
So Kathy, you have a coach in every room now, right?
Okay.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of work. I'll come back for the group debrief. I'll see you in a little while.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Then they tend to be, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I will be the observer, so I'm gonna mute myself.
Oh, you want to be the observer? I thought you were taking the lead here.
No, it was supposed to be you, and I was supposed to be asked if they needed me, so please.
Okay. Uh, I think we're still waiting for one more person to come in, right?
We have a Dua. Oh yeah.
Oh, there it says. I think we've got everyone now. Should we start? All right. Welcome everyone. Desiree, Osama, and Dua. Desiree, already you have your camera on. Osama and Dua, if you could turn our cameras on, it would be nice to kind of see who we're role playing with. If not, that's okay. If you guys could unmute yourselves, that would also be helpful.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I cannot open my camera, but I'm an
That's okay.
observer. I don't think I can play a role right now, right?
Oh, I see. Okay. So do we have if you're the observers, do we have enough people? No.
I'm going to go back to the main room and see if any students are going to join us.
Yeah.
Because you have 3 observers and coaches here.
Maybe we could, if at all, we may then need to merge into another room, I guess. While Leah is gone, do you guys mind if you do a quick round of introductions? I can start myself. I'm Kartik Gupta. I'm based in Canada. I am a mediator, arbitrator. I work in Canada and internationally on commercial mediations, conflict resolution. I, unlike Katie, I do not do family mediation. I stay away from it. I've been a financial expert for about 20 years, and I've worked across Asia, Africa, Europe, and now I'm based in Canada. So I'm doing a lot more North American arbitrations and mediations. Why don't we go around? Hi, Kathleen.
Everybody, hi, what's going on in this room?
So I don't think we have enough people in here to do a mediation. We have Dua, we had Elia, who were observers. Usama and Desiree, I think, would want to participate, but I don't think we have enough people to do that. So either we merge into another room or
I think you should do that. Are you able to move yourselves into a room? What we can do is you can go off camera and we'll just
yeah.
put you off video. We'll put you into another room where you can observe what's happening in the room. So let's look and see if you can move yourself first. And this is room 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Osama, I'm going to move you to, hang on, let's see, like this. I'm going to move you to room 2. Let's see what's going on here. We have room 2 and we have room 7.
We have another student in the main room now who just
Okay.
connected. So yeah.
All right, let's go. Will that solve the problem?
I think so. Osama,
Okay.
Desiree.
All right, let me go get that.
Hello.
Hi, hello, Shazad.
How are you?
So this
Good.
is room 6, correct?
This is room 6. Yes, I
Alright,
think
I'm
we
gonna
should have
sign.
3 people on.
I'm going to sign. And here comes another person into room 6 as well, Hollister. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right, Carrie, thank you so much.
Thank you,
People should be-
Kathleen.
Enjoy your time, everyone.
Is my video visible?
Yes, Shazad.
Or
No, it's not.
this is my first time attending such a session, so I am sorry if you got disturbed.
No, not at all. Not at all. We were just starting and we were looking for more students to come in because we had more coaches and observers than students. But before we start,
Okay.
I think why don't we do a quick round of introductions, and then we'll do some icebreakers to kind of ease everyone in, and then we'll see where we go from there, right? So why don't I do that? I'll do the introduction first, and then I'll ask Aaliyah to pass the baton to Aaliyah, and then she can pass it on to someone else. So hi everyone, I'm Kartik Gupta. I'm based in Canada, as you can see. I'm an international and domestic mediator and arbitrator. I am also a financial expert, and I do forensic investigation work all across the world. I've been doing this kind of work for about 20 years, and I welcome to Teen Mediation today. Pass it on to Leah.
Hi, I'm Elahe. I live in Tehran, Iran. I'm a peace educator and a certified mediator at the moment. That's kind of my passion and background. I'm so excited to be here with you today. It's my first time attending a TMI event, so I'm looking forward to see you and learn from you and talk with you. I think I should pass, right? Okay, let's
Yes.
pass it to Osama, who's first on my screen.
Is it about me?
Yes, Osama, let's start with you.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I am Osama and I'm pursuing my University of London's international program, and I'm a citizen of Pakistan, and I'm finally a law student. I have a brief introduction about mediation. I have no particular knowledge about the mediation, but I'm very interested and enthusiastic to pursue as it career, because in Pakistan there are approximately 2.8 million cases to be heard by the courts, and there is overburden in the judiciary system, and we face a lack of transparency in judicial system due to that burden. And I hope I can make a curate an impact by pursuing this field. I'm very thankful.
Thank you, Osama, for the introductions. While we move on to Desiree. Next on my screen, Desiree. Still around?
Yeah.
Could we have a quick introduction?
Introduction, you need my introduction? Yes.
Yes, just a little bit of who you are, where you're from, what do
Yes,
you do?
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Mbonipa Desire, a Burundian refugee and a lawyer, because I am a graduate at the University of Rwanda in a bachelor degree in law with honors, and I'm in Mahama refugee camp, Eastern Province in Rwanda, East Africa. And now I lead a refugee-led organization and a think tank for refugee advocacy, and also for legislation. I am mediator, as I lead another legal initiative of JuMePro Limited, G Justice by Mediation Program in the refugee community here in the Mahama refugee camp in Rwanda. Of course, there is peace, but because of diversity of cultures and because of different ideas, and also because of diversities of economies within the refugee community, of course, there must be some disputes, some problems of cohabitation, and I try to help them to facilitate their problem resolution from themselves, because I want to avoid situation when a person has to go to court, which is very expensive for refugees. There are primary courts. When you go, you have to pay motorcycles, you have to pay bus. It is very expensive. While in refugee community, because of COVID-19, because of war in Ukraine, in Middle East, sometimes there is problem.
Sorry for interrupting. I just
Hi,
need to hop
Kathy.
in the room right quick.
Yes.
Is your room okay? Do you have everything that you need?
I think so. We've got me, Alea, and Dua as coaches and observers, and I think we've got the others 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who would be willing to mediate and
Great.
vote.
So
I think
if you want to go ahead and get started whenever you're ready, that's great. I'm going to just do a little screenshot of the group if everybody wants to just say hello.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, I encourage you to go ahead and get started as soon as you can.
Perfect.
And just reach out to me if you have any questions.
Sure. Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate it. We're just doing the rounds of introductions. Let's just move on to Shazeb. Thank you, Desiree, for the introduction.
Thank you.
So, hello. First of all, I am from Pakistan. I am student of ACCA, professional qualification from UK. Basically, I have done course on conflict management in the past, but never had the opportunity to use the knowledge. So I was thinking that I may forgot everything about the conflict management. So that's why when I saw this opportunity in WhatsApp group to my friends, I thought that maybe I should join this program to learn more about this mediation thing and to know more about how to resolve conflicts in personal and professional life. So
Great.
that's why I joined this program, and I have zero experience, so I will observe basically, most of the time.
No problem. I think even if you do some little bit of role play, that would be wonderful for us. Why don't we move on to Mayanga from Sri Lanka, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Mayanga.
Hello, hello. Uh,
Hi.
yes, I am the adult observations and do the observate, and I think yesterday I introduced myself.
Okay. Hollister's order. Do you want to do a quick introduction? Hollister's.
I think I am just an observer. I'm the adult observer, just observing the process and learning something from the mediations patterns and what are the criteria that the mediators do. That's the thing.
Sure. Thanks, Mayanga. Thanks for letting me know. I don't think we were able to reach Hollister's honor. Naima,
Sister is
welcome
also a
to
note taker. That's how she's renamed herself. So she's not a
Yeah,
student as well.
I don't think so. Naima, are you still here with us?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Naima. Could you do a quick
Hi.
round of introductions? How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Naima, and I'm a recent LLB graduate from University of London, and I'm looking for various areas of law to expand my horizon, and this was one of those opportunities. So I think I'm going to learn a lot.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Would you like to participate in the role play today?
Yes, I think I can.
Perfect. That would be great. Hamas Dave, you've just joined in. Would you want to do a little introduction about yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Gupta. Basically, I was assigned a room number 5 before, but I had to come here. So basically, I'm from Pakistan, and I'm a senior law student, and I've been conducting mediation from last 1.5 years in different forms, along with participation in different competitions. Recently taking part in mediation and arbitration settings as a coach and organizer. So that is all from my side. So anything from any other participant is welcome, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Hamas. Would you want to take part in the role play, or would you want to do some coaching? What
I
would you?
prefer coaching. I guess you're the coach as well, Mr. Gupta.
No,
So
no worries.
I'll
You
just
can take the lead. I don't mind that. If you want to
no.
coach,
Yeah,
that
you may
would
take the
that
lead.
would be good.
You may take the lead. I'll just be alongside with you.
No problem. No problem. And last but not the least, Dua, you could unmute and just do a little
Yes, sure.
introduction about yourself.
Yes, hello, I'm Dara. I'm from Lebanon and I'm a social worker. I work at the MEBS University in Lebanon, and I just recently got introduced to Dr. Grace Sather, and she introduced me to mediation. And I'm thinking about completing my master's degree or my new path as a mediator with a social work degree. So I'm here to see whether this is the right thing for me or not. This is my first time seeing a mediation session or a mediation place happening. So I'm here to see how it goes and how everything is going to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Dua. All right, now that the introductions are out of the way, we have Osama, Desiree, Shazab, and Naima. So we've got 4 people. We've got Alex and Sam. Who wants to take Alex and Sam, and who wants to do mediation? So we'll have 2 mediators. We'll have co-mediations doing. Any volunteers for taking the role of Alex and Sam? Or should we assign something?
I would take Alex.
Sure, Osama. And just to remind everyone, I think there's a learning here for everyone. No matter whatever role you guys take, you'll learn something from this exercise. Playing the role of Alex, Sam, or the co-mediators will all help you in your mediation journey for sure. So we've got Osama as Alex, who wants to take the role of Sam.
If no one is taking Mr. Gupta, we can just assign that.
Let's just do that. Let's do Desiree. Would you want to take the role of Sam?
You say?
Can you take the role of Sam?
A lot?
Yes, Desiree, can you take the role of Sam? Play Sam in this role play.
I didn't well follow, but I can, no problem.
Okay, perfect. So we've got
Okay,
Osama as
perfect.
Alex, Desiree as Sam, and then Shazab and Naima. Why don't you guys be the co-mediators? What I'm gonna do quickly is just share my screen here. Can everyone see this?
Okay. One thing, Mr. Gupta, all the role, whoever is playing whoever character, they can just change their names. So for the ease of others, Sam, you just whoever has been assigned the character of Sam, he or she may rename his or her Zoom name as Sam or Alex accordingly.
Now that's a good idea. Osama, why don't you put yourself as Alex, and Desiree, if you could rename yourself as Sam, and then why don't we have
Mediator, I guess.
Shazib and
Mediator.
Naima? Yeah, put yourself as
Mediator A,
mediators.
mediator A, mediator B. I guess that would be convenient for all of us.
So Alex and Sam, I think there's a little bit of prep that you guys need to do. If you can see my screen, there's some directions here. So after reading the case, and again, do you want me to go over the case again with you guys? Or do you have a little bit of idea of what we're going through today? This is especially for Osama and Desiree.
Yes, for some seconds, you can show us again
Sure.
Yours.
Let's do that. Let's go over the case again, once again.
Yes.
So here's the case. So they're 2 best friends, Alex and Sam. They opened an Instagram account where they are showcasing stuff about skateboarding and fashion. And the account quickly gained popularity. They were now getting sponsorship offers, but they had a fight between themselves, Alex and Sam. And now the problem is who gets control of the Instagram account. Sam feels that he's betrayed by Alex, and the account should either be deleted or he should get the control of the account. On the other side, Alex wants the control, saying that he has a stronger vision and he's more responsible with the money. So you guys need to do that. Now, both teams are extremely hurt, which means that there's going to be anger. There's complete breakdown of communication, which means that you both do not want to talk to each other. There's going to be some anger issues which are going to come out. And then now it has come to that point that your parents are now involved in this particular situation. What we're going to see for mediators, there's some mediation goals here. So Shazib and Naima, you guys need to wear the hat of the mediator And what you guys need to do, both of you, would be to help Alex and Sam understand each other's perspectives and feelings. You will need to find a compromise that addresses both of their concerns and find a common way forward. And if possible, try and find a way to repair their friendship and end the partnership amicably. For Alex and Sam, some notes here, because you're teens, you need to be able to give out certain strong emotions, which could be anger, which could be betrayal, which could be what do I say? Fear, maybe frustration about the situation. So be prepared to show those emotions. Feel free to go into any direction that you guys want. Again, there's some social pressures because of if you end up losing the account, how you're going to feel socially, and how your friends and your social circle is going to respond to it. So have that in your mind as well. And then again, because it's money is involved, so there's future consequences also to look into for this particular in this particular case. So bear that in mind while you're doing your role play. Any questions?
Mr. Gupta, I would like to emphasize on the point that the parties have to play that role. They have to be in the character, be in the shoes of the character. So, as Mr. Gupta has said, that if the character is showing emotional distress and is having strong emotions, show that. That is the basic purpose of the mediation as well, to play the party, to know the emotions, to know the whole process. If you are not playing the party, playing the character, that is not the best thing. I know that it is a little hard to play that whole character, but if you do try, that will get better session by session.
Exactly. I think that's a wonderful way of putting it.
Mr. Gupta, you may proceed.
Yes, be the character. So here are some directions that you guys can take. Take about 5 minutes. Think about what you want to do. Make some notes for yourself. How old are you? So you're teens, so you should be thinking about you being in the, let's say, 14 to 18-year-old brackets, right? Think about what grade you guys are in. Let's say 14 to 18 would put you in, let's say, grade 10 or 11, let's say. What do you want from this mediation? So Alex and Sam, think about it, what you want. What are your needs from this mediation? So prepare that as your notes. What are some character traits that describe you? So choose as many as you want to choose to build your own character. Take about 5 minutes. But here are some thoughts. How upset, angry are you in terms of intellect, your intellectual level? Logical, are you a logical thinker, smart, creative? Because you're doing, you have an Instagram account, you're posting videos and things, so you're a creative thinker. Are you arrogant? Are you know-it-all? Are you narcissistic? Which means are you all about yourself? Are you smug? Others, which means others are always wrong. Are you vain? Which means that I'm always right. So build a character around it. Some interpersonal communication style would be aggressive. If you're aggressive to the other person, bully, you could be hostile, jealous, manipulative, aloof. So here's some keywords that you can use to build your character. Just think about it while I'm saying all of these things. Ethical characteristics: are you dishonest? Are you disingenuous? Are you shifty? Are you untrustworthy? or are you opposite of these things? Energy of the character could be spirited, could be lazy, could be apathetic, could be aggressive, could be tired. Like, I'm tired of all of this. I just want this to be over, right? Something like that. What are the circumstances that lead to this conflict? So think about how all of this happened and how do you want to proceed? Because the mediators will ask you what happened to give you an idea, give them an idea, because the mediators come to the table without knowing anything what's going on. So the parties one by one have to tell them their side of the story, tell them what happened and how it happened. So build that for yourself. What do you want from this mediation? Again, same question. What is your deal breaker? Which means that what's your final thing? Like if you don't get that, what is the one thing that you really want? If you don't get it, you don't want to do the mediation, right? What is the obstacles of getting what you hope for? Pick your energy, which was the conflict style, which would be competing, collaborating, avoiding, accommodating, or compromising. So here's what it is. I think this is what Kathleen has showed. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, I think, by the clock. Take some time, think about how you want to proceed, and then I'll let the co-mediators take the lead. While Alex and Sam are preparing co-mediators, I'll just put this for you guys out there. Just read this. Your opening remarks, your how you can proceed with the role play with Alex and Sam.
Hello, Kartik, can you start without me? I will join after 5 minutes. I am busy at the time.
Yep, sure, no problem.
Okay, just one thing, Mr. Gupta. The mediators have that script of the mediator script. It was shared with them, I guess.
Do you have it, co-mediators?
Just to make it sure that they do have the script so it can.
I think I have it, but it's more convenient for me to see the screen right now instead of accessing the document.
Sure, that's fine. This can be on
Mr.
your.
Gupta, if you just scroll down that, you must scroll down. It is, I guess, there.
I think this is it. This is the end.
We can just give them an overview of that if it is not there, or we can do it at the end. What's your thought on that?
Sorry, can you repeat that? You're just breaking up a little bit.
As we can just give the co-mediators an overview of the mediators initial speech, initial script, or we can give that at the end. What's your thought process on that?
I think we should just give our views on in the end. I think if they have the speech, they have the script, then they should start doing it from there. I've just put this for the ease so that they can read through it while Alex and Sam are preparing. Just so that
Sure.
this is out there.
Let's have that in the last of the session then.
Yeah.
At the end of the session. Yeah.
We probably should start
Can we start?
because
Yeah,
almost
sure.
like we've
Yeah, let's do that. Co-mediators, over to you. We're gonna mute ourselves. And please free to let us know if you guys feel that you need some help. Just shout out to me or Hamas.
Can you please scroll this screen up so I can read the script?
All right, I think one of the co-mediators should take the lead and start.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Naima and I will be one of your co-mediators today. Thank you for attending this mediation. Over to mediator B.
Hello, my name is Shazib Hassan and I am your other co-mediator. Now that we have introduced ourselves, let's get started. So, does everyone have the authority to make decisions today without contacting someone else to ensure the confidentiality of the Zoom process? Is everyone agreeing that there is no one else?
Shazab,
Yes.
let me stop you there. Why don't we give a chance to introduce Alex and Sam themselves? Why don't you do that? Give them an
Okay, no
opportunity.
problem.
Yeah. So, Shazab, why don't you pick one of them where you left off? You said now that we've introduced ourselves, please let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. So why don't you pick either one, Alex or Sam, and let them introduce, and then you make move forward with your speech.
Okay, so I want Alex to introduce himself and ask him about what are his basic problems.
First of all, I didn't want to be here because this man sitting in front of me is nothing but lethargic person. He has made me some great losses. I have been a rising star. I have been a great innovative person. This company and this Instagram handle that we just made it to 20K 20K followers, and I made some great deals with collaborators. I was rising on my peak. It was skyrocketing, and this man, due to his poor financial skills, due to his lethargic behavior, has I don't want to see your face. Uh, I, 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 I want to do with you guys is that I want whole of my company back. I don't want his share. I don't want any of his contributions to my company, to my Instagram account, and most importantly, I want to have him to give my password back. I have serious privacy concerns. I don't trust him, and I am very sick of him.
Okay, so now I want Sam to ask about his opinions on the account and what are his problems. Sam, can you hear me?
Me?
Desiree, that's you.
Sam? Me, Sam?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I have a great problem. Me, I'm not very happy. I can't understand how this person can betray me. So, because me, from the first day, we opened together an Instagram account, and we have agreed together on what will be the interest, the views, and even money or sponsorship when this occasion comes. So how, Alex, how can you take our interest from our account? We opened this account when you wanted to take benefit. Of course, we have to share, as we have shared it, even we have shared it, the initiative to open our common Instagram account. I don't understand how you can make injustice against me. Tell me how you can do that. I can't think, I can't understand.
Okay, is there anything else Sam or Alex want to say?
I think at this point, Shazab, just move on to the next part of your speech, and then once that's done, I think then we'll start with the mediation process.
My next part of the speech from the documents that I have, or what should I do?
No, thank you for the introduction. So just read that out, and then it just gives you an idea of just what you're trying to do here is explain the process to both the parties, right? And then
yes,
Nadia would take over from mediator A, and then that's when you start, right?
Oh, okay.
The
So
actual
I
mediation.
okay.
So,
So I want
yeah.
I will I want to co-mediator one to ask them questions. Then we will further start doing our mediations.
Right. So basically how this works is once the introductions are done, you need to explain the process of mediation to the parties. And then you also make them understand that mediation is voluntary, how you guys are neutral, how this is a confidential process, right? And how you are here not to judge any of the parties and be here only to facilitate a dialogue between the two parties and being able to and helping the parties to reach a resolution themselves, right? That's how it works. As a mediator, that's your role to play to make the parties understand all of these things, right? And that's where this sort of speech comes out. So I think why don't we assume that but I think you should take the speech out. So Shazib, right? Why don't you start with
Yes.
from the point where this says thank you for the introductions. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah. So where it says thank you for the
I
introductions.
put everything in the chat. You can just read from the chat.
Yeah, that's also a
So
good idea.
should I start?
Yeah.
So thank you for the first of all, thank you for the introductions. Now I'd like to move on to the business at hand, therefore, before the mediation process begins. So Alex and Sam, you both know that the authority to make decisions without contacting someone else, and to ensure the confidentiality of the Zoom process, Alex and Sam, we should both agree that no one else in the room, that you are not recording of this meeting, And also show your hands, please. Thank you. I have the signed agreement to mediate in front of me as your mediator. Does everyone agree that it is still the case today?
Yes, let's assume that
So
they've
further
agreed.
move on. Lastly, this mediation.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Shazam.
Lastly, this mediation will be about 30 minutes. If anyone needs to take a break, please let me know if any other interruptions are necessary.
Great. Now, Nadia, could you move on to your bit?
Yes. So now, Alex and Sam, I would like to inform that before we begin the mediation process, there are some principles regarding the mediation process that you all should be aware. And now that the business of hand is done, I would like to introduce you to the principles of mediation. Mediation is a voluntary process for everyone, including myself as your mediator. We are all free to walk away from the table today at any time, and you are free to do so. Mediation is about having a fully empowered conversation at the table with us being neutral, which means that we will not make any decisions for you today. Our job is to clarify and ensure that the information is accurately understood at the mediation table so that you can make an informed decision. Mediation is also a confidential process. This means that there are different areas of confidentiality. As your mediator, my confidentiality is 100% unless I read or hear anything related to criminal activity or abuse of a child or elderly person. For you, the confidentiality process is that it is non-binding and without prejudice. What you say here today at the mediation table cannot be used against you in a court, and it's just a conversation until our documents are signed, which is called the settlement agreement. Thirdly, there is an extra layer of confidentiality in the private sessions, and I'll explain that layer of confidentiality to you in a moment. Lastly, the mediation is about self-determination, where you have control and will make all the decisions today that look like a win-win for each of you. So are all the parties clear about the principles of mediation?
Yes.
Okay, now Alex and Sam, I want both of you to present your main arguments with what you are having issue with. As Alex said, and I'm quoting your words, you said that Sam has caused you great distress and loss at many times. You labeled yourself, you termed yourself as a rising star, and you contributed many times towards the content creation, even collaborating with the partners so that you're able to expand your Instagram account on. And correct me if I'm wrong anywhere or add any information if I did not. And as for Sam, he said that you have outrightly not communicated how you will be owning this account for yourself only, when in reality, before starting this account, you both agreed that you will be sharing the expenses or whatever is the benefit. So now I want you to add on to this or clarify your position or what kind of solution you all are looking for, so we can see if both the parties are on the same page or you would want a different solution for each of you, whether in the future you'll be going together or if you want to have a separate account or if you are willing to shut down this account and go about by life. Is everything clear?
Yeah, sure.
So Alex, if you want to add anything towards your conversation or your issue, you would like to inform Sam, you can have this discussion. And Sam, feel free to add anything or what are the points you want to present so we can have a look at it and come to a solution that is agreeable to both you and Alex. Okay.
As far as my experiences are concerned with Sam, I would say that it was never a good experience to share a stage with Sam. This is because that he was so poor at financial management that it made some great losses. our company that we started almost 4 years back, it would have been a great, it would have been in a top tier companies of the city. I, I would request him to, if he have any other issues of the payment with me, if he is debted, or if I am owing his outstanding amount or something like that, I can pay him, but I would suggest him to leave the company immediately, because he is the main culprit, I would say, and he's the main person, the way, because we are here today. And I would suggest him to please uh, leave us alone, leave our company alone, because he's neither creative nor innovative, or nor, if we talk about his if we talk about his ethics, work ethics, he has been talking to his girlfriend for half an hour, and he is taking breaks and breaks for smoking breaks, drinking breaks. That is appropriately most discussed. It is very disheartening thing for me. Thank you.
So, Sam, would you like to add anything as for these allegations that have been said by Alex towards you, or you would like to deny them, or anything to prove your point or your position as a partner in this company?
Yes, of course. What I have to add is to ask that justice be done for me, because we opened the Instagram account together, but when money comes, this is the first step of cutting relationships. So I want that every interest we gain from our shared Instagram account be equally.
It is not about opening the Instagram account because you only have your password. It doesn't mean that you are having the password of Instagram account and we open together, and means that you are someone who. It doesn't mean that. I totally disagree with you on this.
No, what does it mean? Open a common account. We have to share everything. We have to share everything as we have agreed on.
Okay, so Alex, I would like to inform that, as I said before starting this mediation process, it's a neutral process. Every party will have the right to present their argument. I gave you time to present your viewpoints, what you think Sam did wrong to you. Now it's Sam's time. Let's give him some time to hear his arguments, hear his point of view, and then we can continue with the conversation. So it's better
No, he
moving
has
on
been
with this.
completely wrong. He has been
I
completely wrong.
totally
Why would I
understand.
agree?
I totally understand your position that you're angry and you're frustrated right now, but your time has been allotted to you. We'll continue with you as well again, but let's hear Sam's point of view as well, so we can reach a neutral argument that's agreeable to both of you. If we only hear your viewpoints and exclude Sam, it won't do justice to him. So let's hear his side of argument, how he would like to defend himself. Okay. So let's wait before you can speak.
That's great. You are the only person whom I can trust.
Totally. I'm a neutral person. Sam and you both have your trust in me, and I'll do my best to reach a solution that is favorable to both of you. Now let's Sam.
I accept your facilities, and I hope Alex can understand that from the start we were in good relationships. He can understand that the very important thing is to restore ties, to restore relationships. I am ready for restoring cohabitation relationships.
Okay,
That
sorry to interfere here, but as Kathy has communicated that we have 15 minutes. So one thing co-mediators should do is when both the parties openly categorize their concerns that other party is talking to his girlfriend for half an hour and not he is being unprofessional, and then the other party has their turn and they say that he or that the other party is not sharing his password of the Instagram account. You can after that the summarize the whole process. The co-mediators can summarize the whole thing that this has been discussed as for now, and our these 3 or 4 things have been presented. Alex has this issue, Sam has this issue, and we will discuss this. And you can then ask them that which issue are you will you prefer to be discussed first. Both the parties, you will ask both the parties that will you guys will the parties prefer that password issue should be discussed first or non-professional behavior should be discussed first, so that the mediation process can go smoothly. It has a purpose that it should be result oriented. There should be a dispute resolution, so dispute resolution has to be categorized first. And as Kathy has I guess communicated that we had only 15 minutes, so we have to summarize. So Mr. Gupta, if you want to share something, then we can just summarize the whole process, and just we can be done with the feedback, and we can just end this session, so
We still have,
the whole thing can be go with the time scheduled.
thanks, Thomas. I think
How many minutes do we have?
we
Let
still
me
have
check.
about 7 minutes before we close the session. So why don't one of the co-mediators
Yes, we
try
can do.
and summarize some of the issues, like you said, which is, I think, a fantastic idea to do at this point, because both the parties have raised a couple of issues. So summarize. So what's the ideal way of doing it is to summarize the issue, what the parties are saying. So the parties will give you hints in terms of what the issues are. They are coming from an emotional state, right? They're coming from a state of anger, from frustration. So they will not be able to clearly outline the issues. What you as a mediator have to do is outline those issues in simple words and say it back to the parties. And then agree, as Hamas said, agree to the parties which issue they want to discuss first. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Why don't each of the two mediators take a shot at that?
I want co-mediator one to summarize these points because she understand them better for me. Then I will add some points if I think they are necessary.
Okay, so as far as I understood the situation, the main issue that Alex has towards Sam is the lack of participation towards the business management, the content creation, and the management issues, and obviously the professional ethics, the lack of professional ethics that are coming from Sam. And as for Sam, the main issue is the lack of communication as to the management of assets and everything else. So if both the parties agree, Alex and Sam, are the issues I presented, do you agree with these? Or is there any issue
Yes,
that
I
I'm
totally
missing
agree with
about?
this.
And what about Sam?
I agree.
Perfect.
Okay.
I think that's the way of going about it. When you say anything else, that's the key. As Kathleen said in her presentation, the phrase anything else brings out a lot from the parties. When you say that, they start to think a little deeper than what they're talking about. They pause, they figure that out, and then they're able to put something forward to you if you're at a stalemate. That's a fantastic statement to also. That's a good way of going about it. Shazib, do you have anything else to add to that? Your thoughts?
As I am student of financial accountant. So I only want to say one thing, that if you decide to close the account, you will not only lose your revenues, but also you will lose your connections with people that you have made over the years. So I want to say that there should be collaboration between two of you so that you can uh, separately manage the account, or you, if you want to, from my opinion, I want both of you to actively participate to control your accounts, because for if you collaborate and do things combinedly, then you will not only have your money coming from the accounts, but also you will make more professional connections, which will help you in the future.
Totally. I would also like to add on to this situation that Alex and Sam, I don't think the conflict that has arisen between you two is of that grave nature. You may think, but both of your positions are that there has been a lack of communication, and because of that, this conflict arose. Sam is very well willing to collaborate with you, to cooperate with you with the issues in Alex. If you want, you can obviously tell your conditions or what you want Sam to do in the near future so that you can both run this account together and, bear
Right.
the
So,
advantages. Yes.
okay, let me just pause you there. Sorry. Those are very valid points, but I think we're going into a different sort of a mediation there. So there are different kind of mediations. What you guys are now doing is evaluative mediations, where the parties have agreed that you evaluate the case, the dispute, and give them your opinion. As a mediator, you do not have to give the opinion. So what you're here to do is facilitate a dialogue between the two parties. So if one of the parties asks for your opinion in a mediation which is not evaluative mediation, which could be reflective or transformative, you have to deflect that conversation in a way that you're not providing any opinion, but you're slightly nudging the parties to go into a certain direction of conversation, which can, at the end of the day, facilitate that dialogue which they want and want you to answer. So you don't answer it. What you do is you facilitate that dialogue between the parties. I think we're just.
I think we've got people coming
back,
back to.
everyone. I know you had a lot less time to mediate than you hoped you would, and we thank you for trying this. You'll hear from me by email with a quick survey about the event to give some suggestions, and if you have future interest in events like this, you can indicate that. So I want to thank you all for coming, and Kathleen is going to wrap up with a little bit of closure and debrief.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everyone, for what a great job today and doing this extra work. And mediations can be exactly like this. A lot of extra steps to take that you weren't thinking that you had to do. And you go this way, that direction. Everything gets prepared like wet concrete to set the mediation in place. And then finally, you start the mediation. A good example of that is I started a mediation a year ago that I thought would be over in 3 months. And guess what? It's still happening a year from now. I'm still involved with the same mediation. So as mediators, we have to be ready to pivot. We never know the length of time because the time goes on as long as the parties have issues and want to continue talking. And that's kind of what happened today. We had a lot to do, so it took a lot of time. So if you have a quick response that you'd like to share before we respect our time and say goodbye, except for the people that want to stay, does anyone have a comment to make about this experience today?
And please feel free to put any comments in the chat. But let's hear from room 2. Could someone from room 2 tell about their experience?
Well, it was really fun talking about my both sides, Sam and Alex. They both had totally different opinions, but I'm thinking like if they can talk it more together, they'll be able to get on the same page and like make a decision together.
That's a great comment to make. And yeah, it's you, the mediator, that brings that clarity and accuracy and provides those safe opportunities for people to continue to discuss. And that's what we are thinking. Maybe someday they'll get there, but that's up to them, right? They will decide if they get there or not, and that's okay. And I'm seeing Ruby, it was a little bit scary and it was fun as well. So there's great comments going in the chat. Does another room want to make a comment before we leave?
So we have room 6 or room 7. How about room 6?
I'm very happy for this
Well,
session.
in room 6, okay, you go.
Go ahead.
Desiree, I think you were going ahead first. Why don't you start with you?
Yes, thank you. This exercise is very constructive, and I think it can play a great model for better mediation activities.
Thank you very much. And one more comment before we say goodbye to the people that want to respect the time of the meeting.
I was in room 5 and I really had fun, and everyone was just really cooperative, was really dramatic and into characters and everything. But yeah, I had fun and I learned a lot from everyone. So yeah, thank you very much. Oh, and the little session we had before was like really helpful because we were able to like use the same words like on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel, and how would you like to be treated, and like things like that. So it was really helpful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're glad everyone had fun. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I have to go to teach a mediation course, so I'm going to get offline and say goodbye. So I'm glad everyone enjoyed themselves. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
and Dick wants to say a few more comments if anybody wants to stay and hear some advice.
Great.
Just real short. As the mediators, always be very positive and compliment the parties, even when you haven't made much progress. Always be complimenting the parties on the progress you've made. That this indicates we're going to get this done. If it takes another session, that's all right. But you're to be complimented for what we've accomplished today. Always never indicate any concern that you might have that it might not succeed. Number 2, and I mentioned it to the group, and that is the co-mediators might get together and come up with a mediator's proposal.
If you have rescheduled a meeting.
It's okay, keep talking.
They might come up with a mediator's proposal, taking into account what both sides have said and put it on the table and explain that it takes compromise on both sides. But here's a proposal that we'd like you to consider, and we'll follow through on that. And then third of all, if you didn't get it done that first day, then you want to set a time when you will get back together again, and we'll continue the mediation and conclude the mediation. But again, always be positive, always compliment the parties on the success made, even if it's not a lot of success. But you always want to have that upbeat approach. That'd be my limited comments.
Thank you. That's really helpful. And we have a couple questions that have come up. If you want to weigh in on this, Dick, or any other mediator in the room. How do you deal with a denial or stubborn person in a party?
How do I deal? The approach I would take is, look at, if you're going to take that line and take that approach, we're probably not going to get this resolved. And what are the consequences if we don't get it resolved? What are the costs going to be? How long will it take? I often will stress, do you realize if we can't get it done, then the discovery must continue. That could take another year, 2 years. The case won't get to trial for 3 years. I'm counting on the fact that the parties can't stand keeping the arrangement as it is, and all that time they make them feel the only alternative they have is to get it resolved and compromise.
Lawyers' fees.
That's right. And the lawyer's fees, I mean, who knows how much it's gonna cost? So what are the consequences if we don't get it done? I mean, that's sort of an end position that you might take. Stress how long it will take to get the case through the courts, how expensive it will be. These are all things that that hit home to the parties, and gives them an incentive to compromise when maybe just a little more compromise would get it resolved. So I throw that out too.
Thank you, that's helpful. We've officially ended the event, but we would love for anyone to ask any questions. We've got many expert mediators in the room, and we'd love to answer any questions.
Kathy, there's a question in the chat from Shazib, is it? Why do most mediations fail? Is it because of a bad mediator? Good question.
Which one's that?
Do you want to respond to that one, Dick? Why do most mediations fail? Is it because of a bad mediator?
Why do most mediations are successful? A good mediators will get over 90% of their cases settled. The average probably, I've seen averages across the country, maybe in the United States, 70–80% when they mediate and talk about it, will get it settled. So percentages are very high, why it's so successful. That's why literally it is winning out in the marketplace. You can go to trial or you can mediate and get it resolved. And mediation is winning out in the marketplace because it is so successful. And it doesn't matter what area. It could be in divorce, it could be a civil case, it could whatever. But never feel that mediation isn't successful. It's highly successful. And that's why it's the local have taken a very different approach. And recognize they'll get settled. And that's what you're aiming at. That's what you want to be, that kind of good mediator. Mediation does not fail, it's successful.
For the cases that are not successful, what would you say is the leading reason?
Well, I would say probably the mediator probably did not use some of the techniques, because there are a lot of techniques that you use in mediation, and I mentioned a couple, and that is to remind the parties how long it will take, what the costs will be, what this means for you personally, if you have to continue in the relationship that you have, which may be untenable. So you want to, I call those practical psychological concerns that you can raise. And another one is you never know what a jury will do. I mean, you can raise that. Are you prepared to lose? Because who knows what the jury will do? We can't guess. So a lot of psychological things that you can raise. Do you want to wake up every morning thinking about this case? Because you will. Anytime a case is pending, you wake up to the parties, that is. Do you want to have a lump in your stomach every morning when you wake up thinking about this? Because you will be. There's a whole slew of psychological things that you can raise. And why do they fail? A lot of it's because of the mediator.
Can I just add to that, Dick? I work as both a family mediator and a civil mediator. And I think in family, the emotions are often so high, and we're talking about children, and people can get so stuck and ingrained in their positions, that I do think the success rates of family mediation, in my view, are often less. And there's often driven by so much anger and emotion that they just want their day in court. It's getting better, particularly I think we're a bit behind in the UK than you are in the States, etc. But the courts are pushing back a lot more, and I think that's going to make a big difference to people mediating. But I do think it is quite different in family than it is in civil. So I just wanted to add that little bit in there.
Also, in the mediation, things will come up that the parties haven't even thought of before. I call them hidden agendas, things that the parties didn't even know that existed. For example, maybe an apology, non-economic things that you can come up with, which you can't come up with in the courtroom. You can't ask for an apology or something like that, or set up a conference room and in the name of one of the parties, or set up a scholarship fund. There's so many things that you can do and creatively in a mediation that that can encourage the parties to resolve it. They don't want to lose that. And a lot of times, I've done about 2,000 of the church cleric sexual abuse cases, which is a very, very serious problem. And so many times you can get the church, for example, to change their ways to protect younger people from abuse. And in fact, you begin with that first, going through all the things that the church will change in order to correct this situation. And if you don't get the case settled, you lose all that and you go to trial. Going to trial just means you're going to re-victimize the victims to begin that have already been victimized once. They'll be re-victimized again. So there are a lot of things you can point out: hidden agendas, what you want to come up with, that you'll find out that people have special interests. I could give you examples, but we won't have time. But there's a lot of things that can go on that you will learn during the mediation that can use. And a lot of them, it's just psychological. You haven't been deposed yet. Do you know what, you'll have to be deposed, be questioned. Do you realize what that is? They can go into anything they want and questioning you to the parties. So there's just a whole slew of things that you can come up with, that reasons why psychologically, why they need to get the matter resolved now, not some years later.
Dick, there's a couple of other questions. One of them, but very legal actually. Does statute of limitation affect mediation outcome?
To explain what that means.
Well, statute of limitations is in, like, if someone hits somebody else, in most jurisdictions, you have 2 years to bring a lawsuit for assault and battery. And if the 2 years goes by, then you're barred, you can't bring an action. So statute of limitations are very important. However, many states have reopened their statute of limitations. They, particularly in the abuse cases, the church abuse cases, they reopened their statute of limitations, so it's no longer a bar. So you want to check the jurisdiction that you're in. In other countries, I don't know how it works with other countries, but you want to be sure that find out whether an action can still be brought. Because if it's barred, then then your hands are pretty much, unless the parties want to cooperate and get the thing resolved anyway. A statute of limitations a bar.
So does that affect mediations at all?
Well, yeah, because the one party will say, "Look, you can't bring an action. You had to bring it within 2 years, and you didn't do it. Therefore, there's a bar." They have a defense. They have a defense to an action. So you have to get around that.
Dick,
any other questions?
Yeah, there's another question as well. Can a mediator give false statements to make parties reach a peaceful agreement, especially in family cases?
Say that again.
That first, Katie? Do you want to address it first and then have Dick address it? So can a mediator give a false statement to make parties reach a peaceful agreement, especially in family?
Never. Don't ever. Mediators almost never get sued, as long as they play it straight. you never want to make a false statement as the mediator, because one side or the other will catch it, and when they do, not only will your mediation fail, but the mediator will get disbarred for doing it if it's a legal situation, if they're lawyers. The compromise. You can have something, if there's something in common that you can have to associate with them. But you want to build that rapport, because if you have good rapport, it's very hard for them at the end of the mediation to say, well, we're not going to do it. We refuse to do it. You know, they like you and they want to be supportive, and they're much more willing to compromise. So number one, always build rapport and trust as you're going along. And there are techniques that you learn that you can use. For example, when I do a mediation and I go into a caucus, which we didn't do in our case, we didn't do any caucuses, but you go into a private caucus with one side, just one side present. What was I going to say? You go in a caucus and
with one side present,
and one side's present. I can't think what the point I was going to make. As far as Bill, oh yeah, when I meet in caucus with one of the parties, I will approach it like I'm on their team. I'm a member of the team. I'll go into the room. I'll sit next to the lawyer or sit next to the party, and I'll use there's a technique called don't say, how are you going to answer this? The other side has raised this question. How are you going to answer it? You say, how are we going to answer it? You give the approach, and you do this on both sides. So you're not favoring one side or the other, but you want them to feel that you really are interested in their case, and you use the we, the our, the us. What is our answer going to be? Or what should I do when I go back and respond? What are your directions? So you want to sort of build that team approach, which can be very effective. So there are a lot of things that you can do that we haven't even talked about. We haven't even touched yet in our discussions here, which you'll pick up. These are all techniques that you use. So it's very sophisticated. Mediation got very sophisticated. There are a lot of things you could use.
Thanks for taking the extra time. Great. Just feel free to email me. I'm the one that's been handling all the registrations, so you should have my email address, and feel free to email me and we'll get that to you. Thank you all. This has been an amazing time. We appreciate everyone's dedication. I especially want to thank our intern, Sky Berghard, in Canada. She has been doing all the background work for this event today, and we couldn't have done it without her. Thank you to our coaches. You're amazing mediators yourselves, and amazing. You work with kids in an amazing way. So we so appreciate you. And I can stay on for any other questions, but we'll officially close. And just thank you so much. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Bye, Donna. Bye, Penny. Lovely to meet you. Oh, they've gone.
Bye. Thank you very much. It was very good.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. It was fantastic having everyone today.
Very good weekend.
Thank you for the case, Kartik. It was a wonderful case to work with.
Thank you so much, Kathy.
you, Ella. Thanks for being
Good
here.
job.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you so
everybody.
much. Thank you,
Good
Kathy.
to see you again. I will send an email to you, Kathy. I need those books.
Sounds great.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.